So, Avengers Infinity War is coming out soon. I thought it might be fun to rank all the MCU movies. There's 18 of them. So, originally, I thought it would be a good idea to rank them from 18 to 1. No. That was way too hard. So then I thought, Marvel movies are broken down into 3 phases. You got Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3. Each phase has 6 movies, so I thought I would just rank them 6 to 1 from worst to best within that phase. And then I'll take the top 2 from every phase, then I'll make a list of the final 6 best Marvel movies. Whew. Like I said, it's not easy. I'm not going to spend a lot of time explaining myself because I don't want this video to be too long. If I chose to explain every single decision I made, this would be a 2-hour video. Trust me, nobody wants this guy for 2 hours. I'll just explain random things as we go along on this journey together. For the record, I have a biased opinion because I read comic books. I read a lot of comic books. So I have associations with characters in my heart that carry over into the movies. I guarantee, somewhere along the way, you will not agree. If you don't agree with any of these, tell me why. Let's start a conversation. Phase 1. Number 6, Iron Man 2. Not as good as the first Iron Man, way better than the third Iron Man. Number 5, The Incredible Hulk. The Edward Norton Hulk. I actually thought this movie was pretty close to the comics based on the material. I'm glad Edward Norton stepped out and Mark Ruffalo stepped in. Number 4, Captain America, The First Avenger. This is actually my least favorite of all the Captain America movies. Still a good origin story. Number 3, Thor. Got a spot in my heart for Thor. Love that character. It was really nice to see Asgard for the first time. Number 2, Iron Man. This is the movie that started it all. 2008, it's been 10 years. It's still great. Number 1 of Phase 1, The Avengers. I feel like that's pretty obvious. The first Avengers movie is just fucking amazing. Moving along to Phase 2. Number 6, Iron Man 3. I hate Iron Man 3. I probably hate it the most out of any Marvel film. Yeah, it's because of the twist in the middle of the movie. As a comic book fan, I don't fucking appreciate that. Shane Black, you fucked up. Number 5, Thor: The Dark World. Actually, probably my least favorite of the Thor movies. I feel like a lot of other people agree with me on this one. I don't think it's as bad as people think. The Dark Elves are just very bland. Meh. Number 4, Ant-Man. This movie actually surprised me a little bit. It was fun. I'm not a fan of wife-beater Ant-Man in the comics, and they decided to take him and turn him old, put a new Ant-Man in there, and make a fun heist movie. Nice. Number 3, Avengers: Age of Ultron. I just thought this movie was fine. It brought a lot of new elements into the MCU. Not a fan of how they portrayed Ultron. And you could just tell how the movie was made that Joss Whedon was tired. Number 2, Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy is just awesome. The first movie that enters space, brings the Celestials into it. You got a ragtag team of thugs. Hilarious and emotional. Groot. Number 1, Captain America: Winter Soldier. I love this movie. They took a superhero genre and turned it into a spy film. They took the big twist in this movie and reflected it into a TV show at the exact same time. Phase 3. Number 6, Spider-Man: Homecoming. It's nice to see Spider-Man coming home to Marvel, but we've seen so many Spider-Man films by now. Good to see him portrayed correctly, but we've kind of seen it all. Number 5, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. A lot of fun like the first one, just not as good as the first one. You know? This is my most controversial decision. And number 4, Black Panther. I know you wanted it higher on the list, but if you actually look at it in the MCU, there's no way Black Panther even breaks the top 5. Yeah, the villain's awesome. Yeah, the movie's pretty cool. But why was T'Challa so much cooler in Captain America: Civil War? T'Challa's character makes the most growth in another movie. Come on. Number 3, Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is fucking awesome. Somehow they made magic work, and it looks cool, and it makes sense, and Doctor Strange did something I've never seen before. They played out an action fight scene while the rest of the world is moving backwards. Whoa. Number 2, Thor: Ragnarok. I've said it before, I love Thor. What an amazing turnaround from the Dark World to this. They sprinkled in a little Planet Hulk in there. That's fucking cool. And it was funny, and it just kind of paid tribute to Jack Kirby. And number 1, Captain America: Civil War. Oh, I love Civil War. I love it so much. Captain America: Civil War is really cool because there's this conflict between all the characters that you love, and they're answering for their previous actions. Yes. All right, so I'm going to take the top 2 from all 3 phases and make a final top 6 for the MCU. Number 6, Thor: Ragnarok. I just explained this. Different, funny, colorful, action's awesome, and fucking Surtur is in the movie. I actually did an hour-and-a-half podcast just talking about how awesome this movie is. So, number 5, Captain America Civil War. I'm really interested to see where these characters left off from Civil War and enter into Infinity War, seeing where everybody's at. Intriguing. Number 4, Guardians of the Galaxy. Come on, it's Guardians of the Galaxy. You love every character. Not to mention it's the first time you actually get to see Thanos in his full Thanos-ness. Number 3, Iron Man. It's a classic. The first Iron Man is so good. It's what started this whole thing. Just watched it the other day. It still holds up. Robert Downey Jr. was made to play Iron Man. Number 2, Captain America the Winter Soldier. I'm a huge fan of that storyline in the comics. I love that they brought Bucky back in such a cool way and made him into the Winter Soldier. The Winter Soldier is one of my favorite characters, and the fight scenes in that movie are amazing. The choreography is the best out of all those movies. Also, it's the first appearance of the Russo brothers, and they're pretty much taking over the Marvel Universe now. And number 1, if you haven't figured it out already, it's the Avengers. 2012, I sat down in a movie theater and saw the Avengers. It blew my fucking mind. It gave me this feeling of, holy shit, like, they pulled it off. They accomplished this. There's a fucking Avengers movie. Just so you have an understanding of how hard it is to pull off a movie like that, look how the Justice League turned out. Yeah. Plus, in the end, you see fucking Thanos. Thanos shows up. Thanos is introduced. And they took their time with it and worked him into all these movies, and then 6 years later, we're finally seeing Thanos fucking fight somebody. And he's gonna kick everyone's ass. I can't wait! That's it. That's my list. Subscribe!